Okay, this is what now? Question number 10. That is what we have done now. So initially intensity will start increasing till the focus point, and if we move up by means in further, so what will happen? Intensity go on decreases. Okay, sir, what about on the left hand side here? Here, left hand side, intensity remains constant. Why? Because they are parallel to each other. Intensity is not going to change. They are parallel to each other, so intensity remains constant. Okay. Yes. Let's have a next question now. A ray of different color fail to converge. See here. A rays of different colors fail to converge at a point after going through a converging lens. This defect is what we call, I told you, chromatic aberration. This is what we call chromatic aberration. Chromatic, it deals with what now? Colors. Means the lens is unable to focus all the colors to a single point. This is what we call chromatic aberration. There are two aberration. This removal of this what we call achromatic aberration. Achromatic aberration. Okay, so that's clear. Yes, no need to discuss further. Okay, if I take in this simple question now, if the light moving in a straight line bends by the small but fixed angle, it may be the case of, see, it should bend small but should be a fixed angle. Okay, that's you should remember, not just like. So now if I look at this reflection, okay, this is like a mirror. So this is what we call normal line. The light is going to incident. Okay, it is going to reflect back. So now light is going to bend, right, with certain fixed angle, right? Okay, the fixed angle is there. So this is a possible case now. Refraction. Okay, if I do refraction, this is a line separating two medium. If I take this normal line, light is going to incident and is going to bend. So if it is n1, it is n2. Here n2 is greater than n1 with this condition. Again, it is going to bend for a small and fixed angle. So this is also possible. Sir, so answer is of course D is the right answer now, because both A and B are possible. Sir, what about diffraction? It is not possible. No. What is diffraction? Bending of light around the corners of obstacle, right? So here, if you take an obstacle like this, okay, let me have, okay. If I take an obstacle, if I take a parallel light ray, okay, this light ray bend at any different angles. So it is bending is there, but not fixed angle. It is not fixed. So we cannot take this option. So what is the right answer? A and B are right answer for this question. Okay. Yes. Let us have a look at next question. So what causes chromatic aberration? Now we told you, we just now discussed chromatic aberration. So what is the reason for chromatic aberration now? That we need to find out now. See here, basically the reason for chromatic aberration is refractive index. Refractive index is the basic reason for chromatic aberration. So for different colors, there are different refractive index. So it will bend different angle. Okay. So here the refractive index is not given in the options. So now how does the refractive index depends for a given lens? We are talking about, see, aberrations we talk only for in the case of lenses as of now. So in the case of lenses, how does this depends on focal length? As we know, focal length proportional to 1 by mu minus 1. So lens maker formula, 1 by f equal to mu minus 1 times of 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. So we're going to see. So they are inversely proportional, right? So as this refractive index is changing, focal length also will change. So I can write now the variation of focal length for different colors. So for different colors, there's a different focal length, so they will bend at different angle. So because of main reason is what? Main reason is refractive index. So there is a chromatic aberration. Okay, this is a main reason. What now? Refractive index. So you should know. Okay. Yes. So this question is clear. Can we move on to next question? Yeah. Now look at this question now. Consider the following two statements that are given to us. So statement A, line spectra contain information about atoms. Okay, one question. Second question, band spectra contain information about molecules. Look at now what is line spectrum, what is band spectrum. So line spectrum, what will happen now? So line spectrum is basically, so whenever an atom get excited, so it is going to form a line, means I'm missing black lines you can see. On a white background, you can see a block lines. That is what we call line spectrum. Of course, it is because of excitation of atoms, so it is true. So this is true. The band spectrum contains information about the molecules. Of course, the band spectrum, what will happen? Now, whenever the molecule de-excited, it is going to have a band spectrum. Of course, this is also true. So here, both options A and B are correct. Both are true here. Okay, line spectrum and band spectrum both are true here. This is actually we studied where now in an atom chapter we studied atoms. Yeah, atoms. Okay, this is you study in as per PU board rules. Okay, or CBSE board. The spectrum you see in where now atoms. There are two types of spectrum: line spectrum and band spectrum. Okay, so those two things. So here both are correct options. Okay, yes. Now if I look at the question number 15, the focal length of a converging lens is FV and FR for violet and red color. Then they ask. So they are asking about a lens, right? Again, focal length is proportional to 1 by mu minus 1. Based on same concept, here mu for violet is greater for than as compared to for mu for red, right? Means refractive index is highest for violet and least for red. So since they are inversely proportional, then focal length for red is must be greater than as compared to focal length for violet. And inversely proportional, right? So that's the option. So which option is correct now? So here first option is right. No, they are not equal. So third option is right answer. Of course, FV must be less than FR. Okay. So this is a C is the right answer for this C based on this idea. Okay, for a lens. Okay, next question is a narrow beam of white light goes through the slab having a parallel faces. Let us have a small parallel faces are there. A narrow beam of light I'm going to take now. Just I took two narrow beam of light. What will happen? What exactly will happen actually? So it is going to split actually. It is going to happen what? It is going to split actually. It is going to split actually like this. And even this also going to split actually. But the thing is, yeah, of course, this is violet, this is red, this is violet, this is red. Okay, but since all the colors are emitting, right, coming out. So since all the colors are coming out here, so again they'll merge here. They'll look like a white light for us. Okay, so they look like what now? They look like a white light for us. See now here. Okay. The question is a narrow beam of white light goes through the slab having a parallel faces. Light never splits. Okay, it is the wrong option because light is going to split here. Emergent beam is white. Of course, it is white. Correct? No, it is white because as the split again come out, again all those different colors are going to combine because the splitting up is the inside. They combine, they're going to form white light. See option, look at now. The light inside the slab split into different colors. That's also right, no? This is also right answer. The light inside the slab is split into different colors. Yes, it is splitting. It is splitting different colors. Correct answer. The light inside the slab is white. No, it is splits up. Here, option B and option C are correct. Both are correct here in this question because inside what will happen? Okay, so if you look at very comfortable way, very strict way, the emergent light ray is not white actually. If you look at very carefully, if you look at make observation with the help of some instruments here, you can see all different colors here. At this point, if you look at, so you can neglect this option, you can go for C option is the right answer. Okay, because emergent light ray is again different colors. But for a normal human eye, it look like what now? It is look like a single color. See, if third option is not there, then choose second option. If third option is there, then choose third option only, because third is our exact answer for this question. Okay, that's clear. Question number 16 is clear. Yes. Look at now. Question number 17. What does this question number 17 says now? By properly combining two prisms, okay, now we have gone to prism now, made of different materials, made of what of different materials, it is not possible. See, the question is itself, they're asking not possible, which is not possible, they're asking first now. So which one is not possible, we need to see now. So have dispersion without average deviation. It is possible. Like how we're going to use first lens, first not lens. This is what we call prism. I'm going to use second prism, prism 1, prism 2, and light is going to incident. It's going to split up. Okay, they are have dispersion without average deviation. It is possible. Then this light ray is going to form what now? This is going to bend like this a little bit. Okay, and the light is going to be like this, and this become incident and emergent become parallel. So there is no much average deviation. This is possible case. Have deviation without dispersion. Yes, and this can deviate even depending upon this angle of the prism, how you're going to set. Okay, theta 1, theta 2 can have a deviation. This is also possible case. This is possible, this is possible. Look at now, have both dispersion and average deviation. Of course. Is it possible now? Both dispersion and deviation. Have both dispersion and average deviation. Yes, it is possible now. Look at our last option is left. That is the right answer for this question. Have either dispersion or deviation. Only dispersion or only deviation? No, it can have both. It can have dispersion, it can have deviation, but it cannot have only single thing. Okay, so what's the option now? Either dispersion or average deviation have, you can have either deviation. So this is a not possible case. This is what now not possible case. So this is question number 17. Okay, yes, and have a look at the next question now. A double convex thin lens made of refractive index 1.6, radii of curvature 15 centimeter each. The focal length of a lens is immersed in a fluid of refractive index 1.63. Then see here, there is a tricks are there to solve the questions. So especially in this question, trick is there. So if you have taken any material whose refractive index something is given, and if you insert in some other medium whose refractive index is greater than that, then the lens behave opposite way. Example, now I'm going to take a convex lens. Let's say refractive index is n1. I'm going to insert this, immerse in a medium of water or some other medium. Let's say that medium refractive index is n2. Okay, initially this is what type of lens? Convex lens. As you immerse in water, if n2 is greater than n1, it is behave like a concave lens. Okay, if n2 is less than n1, it is same as it is convex only. Sir, what if n2 is equal to n1? It is like what? No, slab. There is no bending of light. Light ray will go as, so no change in, there is no change in path. Okay, that I need to know. So these three cases. Now tell me, In the question, what is given to us, which case it is? They given a refractive index of the lens, how much? 1.6. Refractive index of a lens is 1.6, and we are going to immerse in a medium of fluid which refractive index of the fluid has how much? 1.63. Here see now, fluid is greater than liquid, right? Lens, right? So it is greater than means what now? Initially it was a convex, now it is behave like what now? Concave. Concave means they are asking focal length. For a concave lens, focal length must be what now? Negative, no sir? So no need to find anything here. You can choose the right as the answer, D answer. Yes, sir, because there is only one option with negative sign. So as you immerse in a medium with higher refractive index than the lens, lens become reverse its nature. If it is convex, become concave. If it is concave, become convex. So initially it was convex. Now we're going to insert in a medium where high refractive index as compared to lens. So it has become like what now? It has become like concave lens. So concave lens means negative focal length. This is the one way of solving the question. Very simple thing it is. Okay, sir, I want to go mathematical means I'll suggest you now. You are going to use this formula now. What formula? You're going to use again a lens maker formula. I'll suggest you can go for that. Let us take now lens maker formula. What lens maker formula? 1 by f equal to mu minus 1. Okay, 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. That's you know. So since here we are going to insert in the medium of glass the lens with respect to fluid, we are going to use this formula here now. 1 by focal length f equal to mu liquid divided by mu fluid, mu lens minus 1 into 1 by r1 minus 1 by r2. Look at here. Radius of curvature r1 is 15 centimeter and r2 is minus 15 centimeter. So if I insert value, it will become 2 by 15 centimeter. Okay, it will become what? 2 by 15 centimeter. Look how much it is there now. It is 1.6 now. Mu lens 1.6 divided by 1.63 minus 1 into 2 by 15. That is 1 by f. So if you simplify f, you're going to get negative as negative 407.5 centimeter. You get negative value. So this is the answer. This is one way of solving. Sir, I'll go for remembering this technique means you can remember this technique, it is easy. So always remember whenever you immerse any lens, convex or concave, in a medium having high refractive index, it will reverse its behavior. If it is converging, it will become diverging. If it is diverging, it become converging. If it is less than the refractive index of the lens, it is remains same behavior, no change in behavior. If it is equal, then it is like a slab. Like there is no bending, there is no converging, no diverging. It is become a normal medium. Light ray will go as it is. Okay. Yes. That's the question number 18. Look at next question now. Question number 19. A beam of light, lambda is 6000 angstrom, is traveling in air, enter the glass medium of refractive index 1.5. The wavelength of light in the glass is how much? So it is basically the formula n1 lambda 1 is equal to n2 lambda 2. So we need to find wavelength in the glass light, we need to find lambda 2. So I'll let lambda 2 equal to n1 lambda 1 by n2. Okay, initially the traveling air medium, right? So what is the air medium refractive index? We know 1 it is. So it is 1 into lambda 1, I'll keep 6000. I'm not going to convert. N2 is how much now? 1.5. So it will become what now? It will become 6000. This 1.5 is then I can write 3 by 2, right? So it is 3 divided by 2 will come to numerator. It will become 2 times, so 2000. So it will become 4000 angstrom. So C option is what now? The right answer for this question. Is that clear? Yes. Let us have a next question now. Question number 20. An object is placed at a distance of 20 centimeters from the convex lens. See, so it is convex lens. U must be negative. It is 20 centimeter as per side convention. The focal length is 10 centimeter. Focal length is positive. It is 10 centimeter. First focus point. The image is formed on the other side of a lens at a distance of, we need to find out V. So we need to thin lens formula, 1 by f equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. We need to find out 1 by v. 1 by v equal to 1 by f plus 1 by u. That is, insert the values 1 by 10 minus 1 by 20. So it will become what now? 20 minus 10 divided by 10 into 20. So it will become 10 by 200. So 1 by v equal to 20. Yes or no? 1 by equal to 1 by 20, v equal to what? 20 centimeter. So option is what now? D is the right option. Okay. Yes. So it is a thin lens formula. You should remember. Okay. Using this, we are going to solve this question. Now, again, this question is repeated. The condition for achromatic doublet means achromatic aberration. What is the condition for achromatic aberration? Omega 1 by f1 plus omega 2 by f2 is equal to 0. So this is the condition for achromatic aberration that I didn't even prove here, but I should remember. It will take me a little extra time for to prove. Okay, not required for us now. So this is the right option now here. C is the right answer. Okay, 1 by omega 1 by f1 plus omega 2 by f2 is equal to 0. Okay, yes. Let's go for next question. Question number 22. Again, focal length of a convex lens will be maximum. Again, see here, focal length, how it depends. Convex lens, mu minus 1, inversely proportional. We know already, mu or n you can take alternatively. Both are indicating refractive index. Both are indicating what now? Refractive index. Mu r is least, okay, as less as compared to mu violet. They're asking now, see here, maximum. If I look at their reciprocal, right, then fr will be greater as compared to fv, right? So the maximum focal length for what now? Red. So this is a maximum focal length. Minimum focal length is what now? Look at here now. Here, violet is not there in this option. I need to go for VIBGYOR. VIBGYOR. Here, least refractive index. Okay, as least refractive index, highest wavelength. So as refractive index is the least, less, in this case, focal length will be what now? Focal length will be maximum. For violet, it is what now? High refractive index, least wavelength, because n mu is proportional to 1 by lambda, again inversely proportional. Least wavelength, and as a least wavelength, least focal length. Now look at now, here least is what now? Blue. Blue is there here. Indigo is there? No. So blue is the least one. So if they ask you to rearrange, so as per focal length, highest is focal length of red is highest, which is greater than all remaining. So second is what now? Yellow. Look at here, yellow is there. Focal length of yellow. Next is what now? Green is there. So here green. Yellow is greater than green. And is greater than what now? Blue. So this is what now? Decreasing order. Sir, if they ask you increasing order, so FB will be less than FG, will be less than FY, will be less than FR. This is what now? Increasing order. Okay, that's clear. This is about the focal length of a lens. Okay, can we go for next question now? Question number 23. Okay, for achromatic combination, the lenses is formed by joining what now? So that I told you already, achromatic aberration means where that combination in which give us all the light rays need to focus where on a single point. To have this one, We need to always have, for this, we need to have what now? One convex lens, one concave lens. It should be like this combination. You should have what now? Always one convex lens, one concave lens for what now? Achromatic combination. Okay, that's you should know. One convex lens and one concave lens. That is the only possible case to have what now? Achromatic aberration. Okay, if I use both convex, it will aberration will add up, it will increase more. Even the case of concave also. Why we need to go for convex concave means one is converging, one is diverging, one is positive power, one is negative power. So power will be get cancelled. So we can have less power, means we can have what now? Less aberration. Okay, by proper adjustment we can have now what now? We can have completely, we can remove chromatic aberration. Okay, yes. Next. Okay, here we come to defects of hypermetropia. Before going to that, let's have a little bit concept about this one. There are three different defects, right? One is myopia. Is it correct spelling? Myopia, hypermetropia, and presbyopia. So myopia, myopic eye means what now? This is what we call short-sightedness. Hypermetropia, long-sightedness. Presbyopia, it will be because of age that is going to happen. Okay, both short and long-sightedness. So actually in the case of myopia, what will happen? Okay, it is image is going to form in front of retina. Remember, in the case of myopia, image is going to form what now? In front of retina. Means if I take an eye like this, okay, light ray is going to converge where now? In front of retina. So how to correct this one? By using a diverging lens. By using what now? Diverging lens, so what will happen? Light ray will diverge a little bit, so it will focus on where now? Retina. So in the case of hypermetropia, long-sightedness, what will happen? The image is going to form where now? Behind the retina. Image is going to form where now? Behind the retina. So we need to use what now? Converging lens now here to converge them even more and to form on the retina. Okay, we need to have converging lens to form on the retina. Converging lens must be there. How to correct? Using converging lens for what now? Hypermetropia, for myopic, nearsightedness, for diverging lens. Now, hypermetropia, what it is? It is a long-sightedness. How we can correct? Using what now? Converging lens or convex lens. Short-sightedness is what we call myopia. How to correct? By using a diverging lens or concave lens. Bad doesn't need a word, that is some, we need to go for different things. It is no need to go for that now. So this question is clear now. Question number 24. Yes. Look at now. Next question. Okay, question number 25. I think this question is repeated. Or the question is now, if two mirrors are kept inclined 60 degrees, so theta is given how much, students? 60 degree to each other, and a body is placed at the middle, means it is symmetric now. At the middle means what? Are symmetric. Okay, now there are different cases will come in. The total number of images. First, we need to calculate m now. So as I give a table to you, I hope you remember the table. It is 360 degree by theta. So it is 360 degree by 60. So it will become 6. So m we get 6. It is what number? Even number or odd number? So we got m is even number. If m is even number, it does it matter where is standing now? Doesn't matter. Wherever you stand, doesn't matter. The number of images will be how much? N equal to always m minus 1. So it is 6 minus 1. It will be 5. So number of images are going to form what now? 5 images are going to form because it is an even number. So since it is an even number, it does not matter where is standing now. So you should take one number less. So we got 6 by calculation. So number of images is how many? One less. So it is 5. That is the number of images are going to form in this case. Okay. So that table you should remember well. So let's look at the next question now. Let us have a look at the next question. Okay, a lens is placed between the source of light and the wall. Okay, there is a principal axis. There is a wall here. I'm going to take now. There is a source of light. Okay, let's say is an object. Now I'm going to place what now? A lens. I'm going to place between what now? An object and the wall. Somewhere here. Okay. It forms an image A1 and A2 on the wall for different position. Okay, different positions. Okay, when it is first position L1, they're going to form A1 area of image. Second position, let us say somewhere here. It is going to form second position. They're going to form what now? A2 area. Okay, now they're asking the area of the source of light. They're asking. So what they're asking now? They're asking area of the source of light. So this actually we do the method of lens displacement method. Lens displacement method. But as per the CBSE or state board concern, this topic is not it is there in the syllabus. It is not there. Okay, let us have a look at this little bit idea. I will give you now. What is a lens displacement method is? So if distance between object, okay, object and the wall, let's say it is D. If this D is equal to 4 times of focal length of a given lens, how many times? 4 times of focal length of a given lens, then we can get a clear image at two positions. Okay, in between the wall and the image object. Okay, we can get two clear images at two different positions. Okay, so that's what here what we do. So there is a small derivation is there. I'll not go for derivation. So the two possible position where you get a clear image. So if it is you, okay, this is V, first case. Second case is just reversed. Then this will become V. This will become U. It is just what now? Just interchanged. So first case U1 is U and V1 is V. In second case, U1 become V and V, okay, U2 become V and V2 become U, means they just get interchanged. That you should remember, no need to go for direction how it comes. Okay, so what will happen? They are just get interchanged. Now, as we know the case of lens, magnification is given by what formula? V by U, right? So I'll take now M1. First case is what of this case? So it will become V by U. So second case M2, this is case. So it will become what now? It will become U by V, right? Because V2 by V, this actually it is what now? It is V1 by U1. Okay, this is general formula. This is actually V1 by U1. This is also V2 by U2. So you get reverse, since they get reverse, they are interchangeable. So we get. So what is the magnification formula? It is area, volume. If it is a two dimension, you take area. So it is not now area of an image by area of object. Okay, area of image is what now? Let's say first case M1, area of image A1, object is O. Second case M2, area of image A2, object is remains same O. If I multiply these two, M1 into M2, it will become what now? A1 into A2 divided by O square. Now we know M1 value, M2 value. We're going to insert, it will become what now? V by U multiplied by U by V is equal to A1 A2 divided by O square, where O is what now? Area of an object. So these are going to cancel, become 1 is equal to A1 times of A2 divided by O square. Now we want O. I'm going to send left hand side and I get O equal to square root of A1 times of A2. So which is the right option, which is 26. 26 what now? That's the right answer. Is it clear? So this is based on lens displacement method that we never encounter in the regular classes. So the concept you should remember. So whenever the distance between the lens, okay, not lens, object and the wall, if it is 4 times of a focal length, you can have a 2 possible position for a given lens to get a clear image. So when those 2 positions if you have taken, the object distance, image distance are interchangeable. Okay, we took that concept, and you found what now? Using this lens, this formula of magnification, we got this m1 m2, and using a aerial magnification, as like the same as like linear magnification, size of an image to size of an object. So in area case, I take area of an image to area of an object. That way simplify, you get this formula, root of a1 times of a2. Okay, root is for both a1 a2. Okay, so these are some few questions. Okay, so we'll continue in the next session. There are some few more questions out there. We are going to continue in the next session. Okay, yes, thank you so much to all of you.